Tuesday, August 11th.
That was the only one you could find.
Somebody took the gavel, so I decided I'd play fire with fire. Let's see. May I have a motion to approve the agenda or amend the agenda as needed?
Any changes?
I'm good. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Agenda is approved. Gary, if you would like to present this next announcement.
Sure.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Is there anything like a slideshow?
No.
All right.
Mr. Bernard,
Yes.
how are you?
Good.
Come on in, parents, friends, whoever's out there. You
Come on,
have
we're friendly. Squeeze on in.
you have to stay for the whole meeting, though.
Yeah. We like playing to an audience.
Yeah.
I know. I saw the cards. I'm like, what are we doing tonight? And then I walked in. I was like, oh, that's right.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming to the Ayer Board of Selectmen meeting. I don't know why all you kids are here, but this
Keep it G-rated.
it's a great accomplishment. I wasn't even aware that there was a Cal Ripken Macintosh League, and to the extent of what it is. Mark Bernard kind of gave me a little education in it, and Coach Hines did some emails. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good job with all the kids, and just some notes. Is it okay if I mention the kids' names?
Sure.
I might not pronounce it right, so don't jump all over me. I'm Italian, so I usually pronounce everything like well, all you is got a lot of vowels in there. Anthony Luke Casto, Brandon Consalvo, Sean Boyle, Brady Gello. Is that right?
You're doing good. Great.
Jake Gerace, you missed that one up. Declan Hines, Ian Keane, Max Ledger, Muse McLaughlin. Sorry. Jake Pedraschi. Okay. Johnny Panad, Chris Rooney. It is Rooney?
Yes.
Shouldn't it be two O's?
It is.
Oh, I guess
Copy and
the spell check didn't work. My apologies. Leo Simpson. Just a little background: the boys play in two separate teams in the Cal Ripken Macintosh League. Aaron Shirley. Cal Ripken National Tournament begins when boys combine to play for the Ayer Shirley All-Stars. Last year, Ayer Shirley All-Stars won their first Massachusetts District 3 title by beating Hudson 3-1 in the championship game, and were knocked out in the state tournament in the semifinal by Northbridge. If any of this is wrong, please let me know. 2015 was different. The boys refocused, most played fall baseball. Many worked out 2 days a week with professional coaches all winter, and they came back together this spring ready to achieve a goal that most in Aaron Shirley would have never thought was achievable. Massachusetts 12 under state title. Good job. Bet that was fun, right? Winning those games. It surely started the 2015 state tournament, beating the 2014 Mass state runner-up Fitchburg 6-3 on home field at Anson Park. After 4 more games, Ayer Shirley moved into the Northeast Regional Tournament for the first time ever. Yeah. Ayer Shirley lost to Rhode Island 3-0. Good fight. Beat Vermont 12-1. Then lost to Maine. So you guys deserve another round of applause. Coach, come on. Just a little certificate of recognition. Nice to meet you. Certificate is awarded to Ayer Shirley All-Stars baseball team in valuable recognition of being named 2015 Cal Ripken National Tournament Massachusetts State Champions. On behalf of the entire town of Ayer, congratulations on this prestigious accomplishment. Thank you. Next year you win it all? Oh, you won't be in the league?
Oh, no.
No?
They graduate. Big field next year.
Bummer.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
We'll take a picture.
Well, we could have the players come up here.
Okay, why don't the players come up here?
Do a picture with the board.
I'd love to just be bored.
Not that we're anything, we're really not nothing, but we can blow it up and throw darts at it later if you want. Going up and around, congratulations.
You want to hold this?
Good job. Good job.
Hey, guys.
That was 13 again.
Thanks for watching. No, I'll start.
Party going up?
We're good. I'll look much slimmer in this photo because you guys are covering me. Thank you.
Pull around and stuff.
Squeeze in. Everybody pretend you like
You good?
Go back with Gary.
Yeah, Mark.
Squeeze in there, guys.
All right.
All right.
Everybody say baseball. Yeah, baseball, yeah.
Yeah, I play baseball.
Yeah. Carl, you get that backwards, don't you? Oh.
Selfie.
It's like the paparazzi.
Come on, everybody smile. It's gonna go in the paper.
Funny face. When you guys are done, come on over. Show with the kids if you guys want to stop.
Buying?
Come on over.
I'll buy.
Okay.
All right.
I might even have a gift for you.
Okay.
I don't want to pizza, I want chicken.
Can we end the meeting?
With us now.
Okay. That sounds like much more fun. Congratulations, guys.
It is hot.
Does it me?
Yeah. Thank you.
Chris, you want to quit?
I already took 2.
They have to make them.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank
They
you.
kind of flew under the radar. I'm glad you brought that up. The kids. Because it was later in the year and stuff. Day school.
You know, it's like the intermission at the theater. You know, you get look.
You brought it up to me.
Yeah, no, I knew about it. I didn't know. I didn't realize they combined. Like those 2 teams.
All right.
It's a pretty hard thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be successful.
Absolutely.
Anybody here for public input? Going once, going twice. Okay, nobody here for public input. All right, Alicia.
Last month you weren't with us,
I
and we were
know.
wicked disappointed.
It's a David. So, this is pretty easy.
I love it when she says that.
Well, I basically just need your signature on this, Janice, but let me tell you what's going on is to work on houses, we need to have a grant open with DHCD. And so we've had FY11 open. We're in the middle of a project right now. It was open through June 30th. We need to extend it, and then when FY15 comes in September, any program income that we're working on houses with will then transfer over there. But we don't have FY15 open yet, so we just need an extension signature on this.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah. Sorry, my thing's jumping around, that's why I started looking strange. What is it?
We'll get our money's worth out of this one.
Okay,
Nice.
back up and running. Any questions?
I would like to make a motion to extend the FY11 CDBG housing grant through October 31st, 2015. Signature by the chair.
Second.
Can I amend that a little bit? I decided to make it to November 30th, just in case, because I talked to Mark in DHCD, and he said, Alicia, just make it as long as you need it. We can always close it out early, so can you just amend that to November
With an
30th?
amendment to November 30th, 2015.
Thank you.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes. I'm gonna pull it out of its.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's it.
Okay, all
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Have a good,
Alicia.
have a good, quick night.
You too. Chief Murray, come on down. How are you, Chief?
Good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Chief, Mrs. Here.
I'd like to introduce Amanda Beliveau to all of you. This is the Board of Selectmen. It's okay, they don't bite.
We bark a lot, though.
And I bring Amanda before the board tonight in the hopes that they're going to hire her for our open office manager position at the police department. As the board is aware, we've been without an administrative assistant since March or April, when our previous assistant for 33 years passed away. We advertised the position, got 47 applicants, some with very great resumes and backgrounds. But Amanda rose above all of them in her demeanor, experience, and enthusiasm to do the job. We think that she's going to be a great fit for the department and for the town. Amanda lives in Gardner, graduate with an associate's degree in business administration from Mount Wachusett Community College. She's worked as an assistant assessor, as an administrative assistant to a board of selectmen, and as an office manager. She has proven to be a team player, excellent customer service skills, and a high degree of attention to detail. She's well versed in all the computer savvy stuff that she needs to be versed in, and I don't think she's going to have a problem learning our systems.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Would you like to add on to anything? or-
I only hope I can live up to his glowing recommendation.
I think you can. Yes, Gary.
She's really more outspoken than this, believe me.
It's the camera.
An exhaustive search and came up with a good candidate. One that seems eager to get going and straighten everything up down there.
Yes.
I don't want to scare her, right?
Challenge never scares me.
Good.
There you go.
That's
You'll
right.
have them whipped in shape in no time.
I hope so.
Okay.
I make a motion to appoint Amanda Beliveau as the office manager,
Administrative assistant.
assistant office manager for the police department, effective
August 31st, please.
August 31st.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I
I look forward to years of working.
Me as well.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So,
What do we just form?
second up is Christopher Herstrom. Board may remember. Chris has been with us for quite some time, well, since 2014. He's been a per diem dispatcher. He's also on the fire department as a call firefighter. And I'm asking tonight that the board appoint him as a full-time dispatcher. As the board is aware, one of our full-time dispatchers, Casey Scott, resigned. He's moving on to become a police officer himself. And we would like Chris to fill that void. Chris has proven time and again his value to the department, is also to the town and the fire department. I think Chief Pedrazi would speak highly of him if he were able to come up and talk about him. And there was a brief example in the write-up about Chris. This winter, we had two dispatchers who were working during one of the severe snowstorms. Both fell ill to carbon monoxide poisoning. And Chris just happened to be listening to the radio, called us up, said, "Hey, I'm ready, I can come in." And he was in like a shot, to help us out. He's a resident of Ayer, graduate of the Massachusetts 911 Dispatch Academy, has all the required certifications needed to be a dispatcher. Though he's working in West Boylston right now full-time, he's always maintained his status with the town. He's familiar with our entire dispatch center, and this would be a seamless transition for him. He has a bachelor's degree in fire science, Massachusetts Certified EMT, Firefighter 1-2, and given his experience, I would recommend that he be started right up at step 2, the dispatcher's wage scale, and I'd like to forego the probationary period. Thank you.
Any questions?
Start date of August 25th.
August 21st?
5th.
5th. Okay, that was last week, all right. Just came back from Vegas, I don't know what it is. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve Chris Hirschman as a full-time dispatcher for the police department effective August 25th.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Let's see if we
Yeah.
can keep him for a while.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Stop scaring them.
Thanks, Chief.
Have a good night.
You too.
Right. So, I understand we have the planning board with us tonight for a joint meeting.
Some of us.
Well, those who are present, if you come on board, come on, come forward. I can't stop saying aboard. Who's English? Is it one of us? No, I can't read it.
Jeremy. Hey, how you doing?
Sorry about that. Normally have the sound on in my phone. That was me thinking.
Hi,
Hi. Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good.
Can we open? What's the process?
Call, issue.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Madam
Yes,
Madam
yes.
Chair, through you and the board, and to the planning board. The intent of tonight is to do a joint appointment pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 11. And what that states is that it would be a joint meeting of both boards to fill the vacancy. And obviously, the Board of Selectmen has a quorum and is in session. The planning board, do you have a third member that's coming?
That was due.
Okay.
I did ask you, we did have this conversation. I asked if we needed a quorum and you responded that wouldn't be required.
No, you told me that one of your other members wasn't coming.
Yes. All right, so we need 3.
Well, to call the planning board, through the chair, to call the planning board to order. In other words, if the planning board takes any action, including both of you voting,
Right, yep.
and you haven't called to order in an open session, technically you're not in order,
Okay.
you know.
All right, so we need 3.
Yes, and my understanding that Mr. Roper was coming.
Yes, he was due.
Okay,
I
so-
did expect.
Do you think he'll be coming in a few minutes or something? or-
I can, we can go offline, I can try to give him a call.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, why don't we do that? We'll move ahead and then we'll squeeze you back in.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
We're missing one of our candidates as well, so that's good.
Okay. All right.
Want me to stay here?
Sure.
You have to call him, Gary. But I'm next on the agenda as well.
Why don't, yeah,
You can go to consultant bylaw.
Oh, yes, I was gonna say, we can,
You want to give a
you
call?
could be making the phone call and we could
You can talk.
take care of that.
Absolutely.
So by the time you walk back in, that should have a resolution for you. All right, so if you guys remember from the last meeting, we had to send back a consultant bylaw proposal because we didn't have all the relevant information. And now we have it, hard copy. So, planning board voted 3-0 in agreement. The scope of the consultant work was modified and is as follows: review of site development plans for compliance with Ayer zoning bylaw, review of traffic impact access study, review of stormwater management, site plan approval decision. They voted 3-0 to authorize the chair to finalize the agreement with the consultant based upon the above approved scope at a total fee not to exceed $15,000. And that they intend to hire the Green International Affiliates of Westford, Mass. To conduct a peer review based upon the above approved scope at a cost not to exceed $15,000. The applicant indicated that the time is of the assessment and they request a site plan decision no later than 3 September. So it is essential that if it's going to get approved, that we approve it tonight. Gary?
I agree that you need professional people to look at something like, not saying that you, Jen, you're not professional. You've certainly been in this arena long enough to, but there's still more that goes into it. The only question I have is, does this project automatically get approved?
The use itself isn't in question as a fueling station. That is permitted.
Okay.
So what we're hoping to do is just make sure that what's being built is in compliance with the zoning.
Okay.
We too had a room full
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
concerned residents and some of the issues. We don't have that kind of technical support staff here in town to help us with those issues.
Right. So it's more all the ancillary stuff
In
to go
particular,
with
the
this.
traffic is a
Right. Now, can something like that, an adverse report on something like that, sink this project? Or is it something that you work with the developer to make sure there's best practices in place to make sure
Yeah,
everything's...
they're going to review all of that. In fact, there is a representative from the Montello group here this evening. And he was present at our last
Jeremy, you
meeting.
can come up.
Attorney George Potts from Fitchburg,
How you doing?
representing the applicant for the project.
come right up, just give the microphone.
And we basically agreed on a 2-week turnaround time for the review to be completed by Green.
Okay.
And we agreed on the specific scope.
Jeremy?
You're right, Gary. The process for site plan review is one where, we can't say no at this point. The only way we can say no, vote no for a site plan review is if the application is incomplete, and we're past that point. So site plan review is simply a process by which we check the documents, we express our concerns in certain parts. Through peer review, we might come up with some, especially in traffic, we might come up with some options for mitigating the traffic impact, making the current situation better perhaps. It all has to go to MassDOT. MassDOT's going to review at the same time. But you're right, there's nothing we can do to stop the project through the site plan process.
And this covers the whole scope, lighting, drainage, the whole...
We have worked with the applicant to change the documents already. They've already issued a new set of documents since our first hearing 30 days ago.
Yeah, for the issues that I had concerns with,
Okay.
Yes,
The
including.
documents being submitted for the review are the revised documents that
Yes.
were presented last week.
Yes.
And they've addressed the concerns that were raised.
It's good all around to come to some kind of agreement, you know,
Yes,
so it's not always contentious, and
absolutely.
nobody wants that.
And at our meeting last week, the applicant, we still have neighbors that are concerned. The applicant is interested in becoming a good neighbor in their development, and they've been really helpful. And we've gone back and forth with the scope of work, with the price. I think we need to fine tune a work agreement. Robert's been helping, and we should be able to get going pretty quickly.
Yes, Robert.
Madam Chairman, through you to the Board of Selectmen, everything is in order in terms of the procurement, where the threshold is under 35,000, but also under Mass General Law 30B, Section 1, Exemption 32A. Engineering site plan review is exempt from procurement, but the planning board did put out an RFQ, did have two respondents. One of the respondents ended up recusing themselves, citing a conflict. And I did have town council also review all of the materials as provided by the chair of the planning board. And if the Board of Selectmen should choose to authorize this under the consultant bylaw, town council did prepare the contract for the signature by the board, if that's the will of the board.
Gary?
Is, did you see this? Is everything in here that?
Is that my letter? Is that from me?
It's Robert's.
No, it's.
That's from me.
Gary's
Oh,
letter
that's
to
from-
Robert.
So that's everything?
That's it. Yes, that's where we are to date. I got a revised offer or response from Green International. That's what I'm looking at today, and we've got a couple of little points to go over from the applicant, but I think we're all good to go.
Does Green feel confident that they can get this done?
Yes, absolutely.
That's quick turnarounds.
Yes, I talked to Green specifically. They do this in Littleton. They come highly recommended from Littleton. They do peer review all the time. They'll produce a draft within 2 weeks. We'll meet with the applicant and myself, possibly other members of the board, and we will review what they have recommended. The applicant will have a chance to respond. We'll manipulate them, and we'll have a chance to work together to come up with a final product that everybody's happy with.
And Green has put a timeline in that's consistent with each of those steps.
Okay.
Gary?
Make a motion to approve invoke the consultant bylaw or approve it with Green International Affiliates and the job as outlined by the planning board chair dated August 7th, 2015 for a sum not to exceed $15,000.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
The chair says aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
it.
for getting this back to us, and I know it caused a bit of delay and some concern, but we greatly appreciate it. So,
Thank you.
Um,
And we talked to Rick. He'll be here momentarily.
momentarily, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Speaking of outdoors, right?
All right, so why don't we go ahead and move to the Park Street? And then we'll come, when Mr. Robert comes back, we'll call you back.
Thank you.
Okay?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
through you,
Whoever you are.
yeah, through you to the board, if there is an objection, I would like to ask the fire chief, town council represented by attorney Katie Klein, and the sellers of 0 Park Street, Mr. Paul Ruthier and Mr. Frank Finney of the F&P Willows Trust.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Madam Chair, through you to the board, as the board is aware, in accordance with the unanimous vote of town meeting on May 11th of 2015, specifically Article 35, which authorized the Board of Selectmen to purchase the parcel of land known as 0 Park Street, the land adjacent to the fire station, and a presentation was made at town meeting by Chief Pedrazi regarding the value of that property to the town in terms of resolving an easement issue as well as for a long-term permanent flood mitigation solution to protect the fire station. In addition, with the acquisition of this land, the town will own that small parking area that is on Park Street as well. In accordance with Article 35, the Board of Selectmen had previously engaged in a purchase and sales agreement. A Phase 1 environmental analysis was conducted of 0 Park Street, and the report found that there were no environmental issues, and that full report is a public record and is on file at the Selectmen's office. Secondly, some additional analysis was requested, and that also indicated that there were no environmental issues. The title search, with the conclusion of the title search, there were 2 outstanding issues that, after extensive work with the chief and I and town council, we don't believe prohibit or expose the town in any way to move forward on that acquisition. The first one is, upon the purchase of the land, you're familiar with the Dunkin' Donuts on Park Street, where the town will own where the drive-through is, and there is the need for an easement to be granted. And respectfully, the fire chief and I with town council will prepare an article for fall town meeting, to consider granting that easement. There is no easement there now. That will not impact, when the town owns this, there's no impact. I checked with the town's insurer, are impacting that issue with the easement, but town meeting will have to approve that. The second piece is in the middle of, not in the northwest quadrant of this parcel. It's approximately 5,000 square feet of land that's actually a swamp, and it was originally owned by the Boston and Maine Railroad, and when it was conveyed to the F&P Willows Trust, the title search, we can't find the conveyance of the B&M land to F&P Willows Trust. However, the town will own all 4 sides, if you will, and there's this 5,000 square foot swamp in the middle that B&M, if you go through the title, probably owns. It's a recommendation on town council, which the chief and I agree that upon acquisition of the land, that we would approach B&M Railroad looking for a release of that. We're confident that there would be a release. We do, however, add the caveat that everybody knows that the railroad moves slower than a glacier. However, in the event, after we did extensive analysis looking at this piece, even if the railroad didn't concede, it's this 5,000 square foot, and it is a bona fide swamp in the middle of the land that we own. It's almost like an island that we own on all sides, and would not impact in any way the flood remediation plans that the chief, that we're preliminary looking at, doesn't impact the easement and so forth, and we do not believe exposes the town to any legal risks or future ramifications. So with that, all of the documents have been prepared by town council, and I wanted to thank Chief Pedrazi for all of his efforts, and wanted to thank Mr. Finney and Mr. Ruthier for their extreme patience in doing this transaction, which is in accordance with town meeting, and I think in the best interest of the town. And therefore, what I'm respectfully recommending, after any questions, is that the Board of Selectmen vote to authorize the deed for 0 Park Street, and that would be by signature by the board.
Does, and this is for Attorney Klein, does the easement that is bizarre to me that Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have for the land that's owned by Mr. Ruthier now, is the town going to be in any liability or anything once we take over the property that they're using that, obviously for cars and people and stuff like that?
Well, I understand that Mr. Pomprion has spoken with the about insurance coverage, and that it's either an insured interest or is it an insured interest?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't add to the it will be covered under your policy.
Okay, so
I'm
there's
not
no
sure.
risk until while we're in the process of drawing that up and getting that ready.
Right.
Okay.
They are using it. the reason they couldn't give an easement is that they own both lots, and you can't give an easement on.
Oh, I see. I'm
your
sorry. I
own
didn't realize
property.
that.
Yeah, they own
Okay,
the
that
property
makes
to
sense
the,
now.
to the, yeah, to the
Yeah.
north. And the other thing is, I mean, we can talk about this, I don't know whether a lease is more appropriate or an easement, or, but anyway, that's for down the road.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerry, Jerry?
Just does B&M pay taxes on that swampland now?
The, through the chair, the assessor just came back from vacation. We will check on that. It's a,
I am pretty
Doubt it.
confident that
Yeah.
they do not.
My guess it's part of the old rail line from
It is.
18
Yeah.
something that just.
Yeah.
I don't believe they know. I don't believe anybody knew that they owned this parcel.
We found several of those parcels recently.
Right.
They've just been kind of floating out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Chief, did you want to add anything, or?
No, this has been a long process. I'd just like to thank both of the landowners for waiting. They could have sold that land a long time ago to someone else, and they waited for the town to get through the process of purchasing it, so,
It is
thank you.
appreciated.
Just one final point, Madam Chair, for just public disclosure, just to reiterate from Article 35, that's the purchase of the land in the amount of $250,000, the funding source being the UDAG unrestricted account per town meeting. Upon the vote and authorization of the deed, Attorney Klein has some other closing documents for the sellers. The intent is upon your vote, it will be registered tomorrow at the Registry of Deeds, and upon that affirmative registration, we will transfer the check for $250,000 to F&P Willows Trust, which I do have.
Chris?
I would like to make a motion that the town enter into the purchase and acceptance of deed of 0 Park Street as outlined at the May 11, 2015 town meeting for the sum of $250,000 to be paid for out of the UDAG account.
Second.
I'm waiting,
Wait till the board is.
Motion has been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for your
very
patience,
much.
gentlemen.
Yes. Greatly appreciated, I know you've made Chief Pedrazi very happy.
You get the blocks too.
You've been getting free rent for how many years?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
We're going to have the board sign.
Thank you, Frank.
The board sign, and then Attorney Klein to take the sellers
Okay.
to the BOS office to finish up the paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah, I have, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I have the deed here, and you probably signed acceptances before, and I can be the notary, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just, if I may provide you a scan of it now.
Sure.
So this is the deed acceptance, and this is the deed itself. So I just need to see one person's license, if somebody has a license on it, and the rest you don't need to worry about. That's on the as your signature, so that's the only piece you need
okay.
to sign, yeah.
I don't have a license.
I just need one.
Okay.
Okay. That's there.
Where's the swamp?
It's in between.
That's where
It's in between the railroad right away and the land. It's on that side, the back side, in between the apartment houses, where that triangle is. And it's probably where there used to be coal sheds there, it's probably just
one?
where the siding is.
Just one.
That came
Yes,
off.
this is very
Simple.
necessary. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thought it was going to be like a house call.
Yeah.
Signing away.
Yep.
We won't take up any more of your time.
No, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Transaction.
Gentlemen, thank you.
It's always nice to meet another member of Oakland.
It's a pleasure working with your town. I really enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, planning board ready? All right, let's rock and roll.
How are you?
All right.
We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chairs. We got an extra chair.
Sorry.
These are for you, but I need a copy back.
Okay.
That's for the,
Yes.
Robert, are these all set for the consultant?
Yeah, hold on to
Both of them?
both. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hold on. Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're called to order.
Okay, we're going to call the order of meeting of the planning board.
7:41.
It's the 11th of August, it's 7:41 PM. Thanks for having us. We've got 2 candidates for a vacant seat on the airplane board. Now, the statute calls for us to fill this vacant seat by roll call vote of a joint meeting of both boards. The seat will be filled until the next annual election, at which time the vacant seat would be open to candidates via election, and the remainder of the term will be filled by whoever we vote for. So we're only picking someone temporarily until next May, until the next annual election. If we could call the 2 candidates up, we have Jane Morris and Mark Vermanian. I thought we might have them both introduce themselves and tell us why they'd like to join us on the air planning board. Give planning board members a chance to make a comment. Turn it over to you and maybe the audience as necessary, and then vote. Is that all right?
Yes.
Great.
Go ahead, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, my name is Jane Morris, and I would be very humbled to be appointed as member of the planning board. I have interest in town government and planning, and I come to the table with at least 10 years of real estate experience and about 35 years or so of newspaper experience. So I've covered many a planning board, and I thought it might be a way to serve the town. And I thank you for your consideration.
Mark Vermanian. Welcome.
Come on now, it's like Price is Right. Please, that's not me this time.
Not me. My name is Mark Vermanian, and I've been on the planning board for several years. Due to some personal issues, I didn't re-elect, I didn't run for re-election. I'm sorry. And I got those personal issues out of the way, and I'd love to help out if I can.
All right.
I think we'll start with Jennifer first, please. Ladies first.
Actually, I didn't really realize that Mark had actually expressed interest until actually the last planning board meeting. So, but I was very enthused that Jane had come out and attended many of the meetings. I personally see a lot in Jane, where she served as an administrative assistant to the town of Ayer for the Board of Health, and also took time to serve on multiple boards. So I'm a big fan already, just with that said. And I have had several years working alongside Mark too on the planning board, so both are qualified.
I've served with Mark in previous years, and familiar with him, and I don't think I've ever met Jane before, but I'm just pleased that we have two good candidates willing to serve the town. I know it's a selfless task, so that's all I have to say.
I will add, for the record, Jeff Tilson's not here, he can't vote. He did send in a note, which I forwarded to Robert, which I think we can just add to the information pile.
Madam Chair, through you, to Mr. Callahan, I've been having difficulty all since yesterday with my email receiving it. So respectfully through the chair, I didn't receive this letter from Mr. Hurstrom, is it? So I don't know.
Mr.
Tillis, excuse me. So I don't know if it's brief, if it wants to be read into the record, or if the board can see it. Apologies to the board, I would have transmitted it, but technical issues being looked at.
Maybe you've reached your maximum capacity of your mailbox.
Probably. That would be my guess.
Anybody want me to read it out loud?
Any objection?
It's not a secret. Everybody read it before they know. Okay.
Do you want to read, you want me to read it or someone read it?
I would. I would.
Yeah, let me read it. This is addressed to Jeremy. Due to the conflict with work, I will, I'm sorry, did you want to read it?
No, go right ahead.
Be unable to join this evening's joint meeting with the BOS. I wanted to send along my thoughts on the new appointee for the planning board, since I will not be there in person. It's my understanding that Jane Morris would be an enthusiastic addition to the board, and I hope that through you, as chair of the planning board, as I said, addressed to Jeremy, I could pass along my support for Jane to fill the open seat. Again, I am sorry for not being there. Regards, Jeff.
I also know both these fine folks. I've worked with Mark on the planning board. I consider Jane a friend. And I've also worked with her in various capacities. I am thinking ahead to the next couple of months and what the board's going to be doing. The one main thing that we're going to try to do is get the zoning bylaw passed. I've had pretty specific conversations with Jane Morris about her experience with APAC, putting together maybe some video presentations to help us out in presenting the message of the bylaw to the town meeting and to the public. She brings a lot of enthusiasm to the table. She's already volunteered for the comprehensive plan committee. I think she's going to be an at-large member. So she brings some fresh energy to the board that I think the board can use right now. And I'm going to leave it at that. I am happy to work with either, but I'm going to throw my vote in for Jane first.
All right, so it's over to us now. Gary?
Just a couple of questions. Jen, you sent us a letter endorsing Jane Morris.
Yes, I did.
Is that what the board's thought was? Was it from you personally?
No, me personally.
From you personally?
Me personally, yeah.
Okay, and you know, Mark's been a planning board member before for years. I would tend to go with a more experienced person, nothing against Jane. You do a lot for the town now. But I think Mark would be seamless.
Robert, just, there's no conflict with Jane in her position as a part-time employee of the town for Board of Health.
Through Chairman Livingston to the boards, Ms. Morris has filed the appropriate disclosure with the town clerk and the Secretary of State. So she is able to, by law, with that disclosure to serve.
Okay. I don't know, I always feel like I don't know much. The planning board is the planning board, so it's hard for me to sit here and say, well, Jane would be better or Mark would be better. It's, I'm sure they'd both be great, but I kind of feel weird because I don't know that much about it. Not the board itself, but how it works and how you guys work together. So I guess I'll leave it at that and kind of just go with it. I That means I haven't made up my mind yet.
Yeah, I can see that, and everybody's looking at me like, what do you got, Janice? First of all, I like Jane. Jane knows that. And I have to echo too, is you know, as far as Mark having the experience, maybe being a little bit more seamless. Also to kind of catch up on what you just said about the zoning bylaw, that having to be reviewed and updated and public hearings being done before you can even put an article on the warrant for town meeting. And I believe, Mark, you were probably around the last time. So that's an added benefit because of the fact that you were around and you would be able to tweak to update it, you know, because it's like, what, 4 or 5 years old. So that's an added benefit. This does seem weird because I think that there's both two good people applying for this position. But I do kind of like, and I have to say, the experience part of it. And especially since the planning board has been in such a turmoil over the last year and a half, you know, and so that's an added benefit to me.
How do we do this?
I don't know, I'm getting ready to
Actually,
take out a
couple more
coin so that
things.
we can all flip.
I want to know if there's any public input.
Okay? Does anybody?
Does anybody have any strong opinion either way?
Okay, Carolyn?
When the railroad was building their unloading facility over by Spectacle Pond, at that time Jane worked for Representative Hargrave's office, and she did an amazing job of working with his office and the town and the railroad to get us, you know, a Class A solution to the issue. There was, you know, the unloading facility was going to happen, but it happened in such a way that she was able to work with us and the state government to make sure that the pollution, the possibility of pollution was minimized. So I've seen her in action, and I know that she can be a great force.
Oh, Jane's awesome, I know that.
I'd like to say one more thing. We do have a majority of the planning board supporting Jane. I just want to point that out. Mark does have a lot of experience with the planning board. I take the planning board has not been in chaos since January. And I take offended by your comment, but
I didn't really say that, but okay.
you said the last year and a half.
The last year and a half, there have been some upheaval in the planning board.
In the last year, there hasn't, since January.
I think you're both right. I mean, I sat
You
here.
understood what I said, right?
No, I sat here last year as chair, and Mr. Roper, you were here
Yeah.
when we had that informal. You were not here, so you weren't part of the board. So,
Correct. Yeah.
Janice is correct, and I agree with you too.
Right.
Things have definitely calmed down,
Yeah,
and you guys have gotten a lot done. Jennifer's come aboard,
Yeah, there
and
was no slam.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
There
yeah,
was no slam.
yeah.
And things are moving, you know, we are lagging. I don't have to go into the administration issue, but that's clearly a problem, and I think we're working on it. I think that's part of, you know, the next, between now and annual town meeting next year. Hopefully we have a good solution. But the board's getting more done. We really, you see projects all over town that are breaking ground. We talked about the gas station earlier. That's been a lot of work, honestly, for me. And you know, people are happy. You know, we had the applicant here. He's actually happy. We've got Barbara Wilson's in the audience. I don't know if she's happy yet or not, but we're trying to make her happy. I've got you know, various constituencies, and it's kind of working out. I am going to say that when Mark was on the board, there was a lot of angst. There was some yelling. There was some maybe. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to. Again, I can work with Mark, and I respect Mark. everything was not peachy when Mark was on the board.
Why would you not point fingers if you just slammed them?
Yeah, we did.
I mean, put it all on the table.
I'll put it all on the table.
You know, it's just,
You know, Mark was in charge.
Can't have it both ways, it's gotta be.
I'll put it all on. You know, Mark was in charge of the planning board when we had major problems. When we had people resign from the board, he was involved. When people were bullied, he was involved.
I was too. I was there too.
Right, now, you know,
Just for a small correction, you were around for part of that time frame.
I
So
was around
technically,
for
one
a
could
lot.
say that Jeremy Callahan, Rick Rober, and Mark Fermion were all a part of
He
this
was the chair.
story. Yes, he was. Okay, but he was the chair once, and we fought, and we're fine. He's been the chair, he's fine. So those things will happen, but
300 times.
You know, exactly. Yeah.
I guess I didn't voice the vote, and I would be in favor of Mark Committee because of his consistency. He was chairman for many years. He's just familiar with everything. I hate to make decisions because I'd love to have him on the board, but I think we have to be objective here and not let, you know, just be objective.
I agree with you.
Okay, and we can differ.
That's right.
And not have, you know, agree to disagree. That's what a board does.
That's the way it should be.
That's what
Yeah.
democracy is.
Mhm.
So I don't think we have to go much further into
I do have maybe we'll get a
Personal
statement from
things.
the audience. Barbara Wilson.
I just want to bring up what you mentioned a moment ago about the gas station company taking up a great deal of the planning board's time in this past year. And during that time, Mr. Fermain was on the board, he would have to speak and stuff, so he would be no service to you. I don't know where somebody lives, but I don't know what sorts of things she might have to do with herself.
Right.
I think that we consider it.
We always have conflict. And likewise, I do too. I have to recuse myself. And it was a time when 2/3 of the planning board's business was my project. So it was actually, a disadvantage for me to be on the board. But I think most of us are here for altruistic reasons. And we're coming to give something back to the town, regardless of our businesses. So we understand that. And yet we still go for it. I know that members here are in the same situation, so.
Mark and Gary? Go ahead, Mark.
As far as the gas station, I was going to ask, number one, let me put it right up front, I didn't know there was 2 applicants tonight. I thought it was just me, it was kind of I'm helping out and I'd be happy to do it, which I will, and I would love to be on the planning board. As far as the gas station next door, that was going to be a question that I was going to ask you. I have no financial interest in the lot next door. If you want me to recuse myself, I certainly will. I work at Jarvis Ford, everybody knows that. The owners of Jarvis Ford own the lot next door. It makes no difference to me whether they buy it, lease it. I stand no financial gain one way or the other on that issue, but it should come from somebody above us, whether I recuse myself.
Well, I think that anything that ever looks like it could be an ethical dilemma should always be double checked, no matter who it is. We've done it ourselves. So if you're put back on the board and there's an ethical dilemma, get your ducks in a row to make sure everything's okay and present it to the board, and then everybody decides whether or not you do need to recuse yourselves. That's what we do. So as far as that goes, I leave that to situational awareness and stuff. Gary?
Yeah, I mean, that's really not our position, Mark. I mean, we've all recused us. I've recused myself for 9 years on this stupid train. Thing. You know? Some I'd like to speak up about, but I can't. But, I mean, we're here to do the right thing for everybody. And I just want to say, I remember Mark when he was chair of the planning board reaching out to me. I was chair at the time, one of the 52 times I was chair. And Robert, concerning issue up there to try to help rectify the position. He came to us for help. So he's not as much of the problem as is perceived.
Perceived is the problem.
Not in my eyes. But anyway, again, he has the experience.
Thank you.
Did you have anything to add to what Jeremy said about angst and whatnot when you were chair of the board? Okay, just rather leave that alone. Okay.
In regards to angst, I hate to break it to you, depending on who you put on the board, there's always going to be angst. That will always be there. And the thing is that we all have to do our best to be adults and deal with it in a reasonable, polite manner, and then hopefully, calm down. And so when you meet again, everything's okay. We've all had angst.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times when I've told them, I'm going to trip you when you walk out the door. I haven't. And, an hour later, we're all fine. So angst is always going to be there, no matter what board or committee you're on. So let's just kind of get that aside and figure out what is best for the town of Ayer.
I'll add if I could. I've learned a lot since part of the board. I've had a lot of experiences on the board. It's been a growing experience, so as I said, I've learned about it.
I'm just cleaning my rose-colored glasses.
Do we vote separately right now?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Madam Chair, through you to the board. So procedurally, at this point, both boards are now in session. It's a joint appointment. And the statute reads that those present shall vote by roll call vote to fill the vacancy. So procedurally, I think there would have to be a motion and a second, and then a roll call vote by member.
Then who goes first?
It doesn't really speak to that point, because at this point, it's a joint appointment. So if you will, the six of you are doing the appointment.
So we do it at the same time?
First for Jane, then for Mark, go around the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat unclear on that. It is.
I think that's probably
vague, but I guess the key point is that it doesn't say that the planning board goes first and then the board of selectmen. It says specifically that the vacancy
You want me to get my coin back?
shall be filled. Let me just
We're not used to having
remaining-
multiple people volunteer.
the selectmen with the remaining members or members of such board, so in this case, the planning board, shall fill such vacancy by a roll call vote. Of course, we all know procedurally, there still has to be a motion and a second, but if you will, it's sort of like you're one entity in terms of a joint appointment.
Gary?
Make a motion to appoint Mark Fermini as planning board rep until the next annual election, so it can be filled permanently.
Chris?
I will second the motion so we can start the voting.
You blah, blah, blah?
I'm going to second that motion so we can
Okay.
move along and see
Any
where we're at.
discussion?
No, it's a total vote, it's not just us.
Yes, no,
I
I'm
know,
just-
but we gotta do our half, don't we?
Not necessarily.
No.
I mean,
It's all six.
I'll do it at the same time.
you've absorbed
Yeah.
us. I mean, Jeremy could have said.
Jeremy could have seconded. I'm seconding the motion so we
Okay,
can put
all
it to a vote either way.
All right, so now we can do a roll call?
Absolutely, you're first. Please.
Piece of paper and a hat.
I gotta throw it toward Mark. No offense, Jane.
So you say aye.
Aye.
I say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Nate?
You made it easy for me, actually, because I'm going to support Mr. Fermini and Jane, because the reason I am mostly because if I vote against it, neither candidate will be appointed this evening. So I'm going to support Mr. Fermini because that'll be the vote. I think you're both qualified, and I have no problem supporting either one of you. But if I believe if we end up 3-3, the motion fails completely. Jane, so please understand that it's more of just a formality for either one of you. If it ended up either way.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
All right. And there's another election.
Yep. And there's an open Board of Selectmen seat in April. Jane.
Thank God.
Stop it.
We're friends, we always.
I might have had to recuse myself because I used to work at Jarvis selling cars.
All right, so we're good? Okay, so you need to make a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Okay,
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
all right.
We're done.
Have a nice evening, everyone.
I was gonna make a motion. Can you make a motion to adjourn us?
No.
Thanks.
Moving right along, though.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's odd that we have people who are usually sitting here
I know.
staring at, listening to crickets.
We're not used to
Thanks, Jen.
multiple people. All right.
Does that make sense what I was trying to say? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm babbling a little bit tonight.
All right, so now we're doing.
What was that, 4-2?
Tipo Tacos, common victular license. Where's 35 Main?
Next to 31.
With the optical.
And this is why I want to trip him sometimes.
iPlace. With a.
Oh, yes. Live place, go live place, yes. Welcome back. You can visit us a lot.
Yes, it seems that way.
You're just an up and coming businessman, aren't you?
Trying to be.
Okay, so what do we got here?
Madam Chair, so Mr. DeChico is before you for a common victualer's license for Tipo Tacos at 35 Main Street, and all of the application and paperwork is in order, including the fee. Respectfully, today, and Mr. DeChico was working diligently to get into contact with the building commissioner. There is one small renovation to the restaurant, like a 3-foot wall, if you will, that under the building code has to be certified and stamped by a registered engineer, which he has arranged to happen. Thursday. What we're respectfully asking the board for consideration, and the board has a precedent of this, that the board authorize the common victualler license contingent upon compliance with
Gabe's
the building.
sign-off.
Right, with the Gabe sign off. That way, because Mr. DeChico wants to open before September 1st, the board doesn't convene again to September 1st. So respectfully, I'm just asking for that consideration. Everything is in order. It was, if you will, a technicality with the building code today, which is scheduled for Thursday. And I know that the board has done, we don't like to do this as a matter of practice, but in this case, we would hold the license and release it upon compliance with the building code. And we don't foresee any issues that there will be on that.
And that would go with Board of Health, Fire, and all that anyways, correct? I mean, per their inspections, so
Yeah.
not an issue with that.
And Board of Health has already signed off with their serve safe, obviously.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah, I don't
chiefs
anticipate
had
any
no-
issues. Okay.
no- Both chiefs had no issues either.
Same kitchen, Mark? Is it?
Same kitchen, yep, it's going through the same thing. It's just, it's a way for us to open for a real fast lunch, close an early dinner type thing initially. We talked about even possibly doing some kind of a fast breakfast out of it, although I don't want to delve into that yet. Yeah, just under $10, quick lunch, in and out type of thing. Seats 20 people, 25 people, and that's it. It's fast.
And it would be to go also? for
Yeah,
you?
I expect that most of it will be to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I guess like following the Chipotle, if you're familiar with Chipotle, kind of following that theme, or cross between that and like an Anna's Tacos. There's a bunch of them in Boston. It's just, you walk in and you, like the Subway setup, you just say, I want that now, and grab a soda and leave, or just sit down, whatever.
Gary?
Make a motion to approve the application for common victuals license for Tipo.
It means kind.
Tipo Taco.
Tipo?
In the name of Mark DeChico.
That on
Marco's Tacos.
Marco's Tacos. Yeah, that's good.
No, it isn't.
Subject to approval by our building inspector referencing 344.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations.
Can I just go on the record saying that one before me was very interesting?
Oh.
That was interesting.
A little tense.
Every once in a while, we spice it up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, thank you, guys.
All right,
you.
good luck, Mark.
So I have this to sign, but obviously we'll hang on to it until Gabe gives it the...
Sure.
All right, Mark.
The common victim.
We've heard that before, Gary. It's been a
I think
while.
this is going to be the easiest thing to do tonight, I hope. I think this is Bob Rafferty from Environmental Partners, who's the engineer who's working for the town of Groton on the design of the sewer connection from the Four Corners in Groton down, I think it's Sandy Pond Road in Groton, which is Westford Road in Ayer, tying into our sewer. Somewhere in that Mulberry Circle area. We haven't quite figured out the best way to tie in yet. And I think we presented the concept a few meetings ago. What we have prepared a memorandum of understanding which basically outlines what the town's proposing, what the process is going to be, and that if the project does move forward, then we would execute an intermunicipal agreement. I did add in here that we do need to have a town meeting vote to allow extension of our sewer system outside the town boundaries.
Would we be doing that in the spring? I'm sorry. Would that be a spring or a fall?
For the town meeting
Yeah, for the
vote?
town meeting, would be ready for that for the fall? Or?
I have it listed for fall, but I don't know if it needs to be or not.
Construction has to start in the spring. The town of Groton is looking for a Mass Works infrastructure grant, so that's driving the schedule. So the fall would be much better.
So is there, the MOU doesn't cite specific costs?
No, that would be in the intermunicipal agreement where we negotiate what the, what Groton's responsibilities are, what our responsibilities are, who pays what when.
So this is more or less a placeholder.
Yeah, basically, it allows the town of Groton to move forward with the project and determine, number one, whether it's feasible, how much it's gonna cost, whether they're gonna get the grant, and knowing that if they do, they have a place to go with the sewer. They don't wanna get it all done and then Ayer says, yeah.
And I would assume that would adversely affect their grant, obviously, if we. Yeah.
So let's go to town meeting anyway. The more definitive stuff will come out.
Of course, you just paved that road 2 years ago, too, right?
Right, we talked about
Yeah.
that as part of the project.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to make a difference anymore.
Put a little bit.
I had a laugh. They said Park Street was done within the 6 years. They said it upstairs. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It hasn't even, it was done in 2011. Anyway, I'll make a motion to approve MOU between Town of Ayer and Town of Groton regarding a sewer extension on Westford Road. Got a signature by the chair.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations. You have a memorandum of understanding.
Just a quick question, James.
Yeah, Chris?
Mark, so how would this work? So you and possibly Robert, the town council, would sit down once this is approved and they get their grant, negotiate how things work, and essentially when this gets rolling, follow
Right,
along.
and we kind of went through this process, I don't know if you recall, we went through this process 2 years ago, 3 years ago, up to the point
Over
where
to Lost Lake, yeah.
it went to town meeting in Groton for a vote and was voted down or tabled or whatever. And at that point, we were negotiating what would be in the intermunicipal agreement. So we do have a draft intermunicipal agreement that we would build on. And, when I looked at the costs, I included factoring into it that we are, at that point, we were using some of our capacity that goes to Devon's, and so that was factored into the cost.
Okay.
Mark, I got some questions about some stuff in the future, but I'll send you an email. We'll be back to regular next month, I guess.
Yeah, 2 more weeks. Are we back on the 2-week schedule now?
Yeah, we're back in 2 weeks.
September 1st is the next meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Somewhat depressing.
I know. I had to look at the calendar to see
It's
what.
gonna be snowing before we.
Oh, shush.
All right, thank you for
All
coming.
right, thank
Do we have any timetable on the grant from Groton? I'm sorry, do they have any, is it just?
The application goes in the end of this month
Mhm.
and supposedly November.
Okay. So they'll be driving a lot of it, obviously.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, good luck.
All right, Roberts.
Madam Chair, through you to the board, though it is still summer, before you know it, the special fall town meeting will be here on Monday, October 26, 2015 at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall of Town Hall. I'm respectfully requesting that the board take a vote to officially open the special fall town meeting warrant. You have a memo in your packet with the schedule that I put together in consultation with the town clerk and the town moderator. The deadline for citizens petitions would be Friday, September 25th at 12 p.m. to the town clerk. And in the schedule, I have scheduled the Board of Selectmen at your October 6th meeting as the meeting to finalize and approve that warrant. And the warrant has to be to the printer by noon on Friday, October 9th, so that we can get it mailed to the residents. So at this time, I'm just asking the board to open the special fall town meeting warrant.
Gary?
It's almost budget season.
So very good news the last 10 minutes.
Make a motion to open the 2015 special town meeting warrant as outlined in the memorandum by town administrator dated August 7th.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Warrant has been opened. I just want to say something because there seems to be a lot of confusion. So the town of Ayer has their annual town meeting, which is in the spring, okay? And we call it annual town meeting, ATM. In the fall, we have the fall town meeting, otherwise known as special town meeting. So there seems to be a lot of confusion sometimes when you say special town meeting. Special town meeting is the fall town meeting, or when a proper request has been brought forward to the Board of Selectmen for an additional special town meeting, which of course we would only approve if it was really necessary. So I just wanted to say, when we say special town meeting, 99.9% of the time we're talking about the fall.
Yeah.
So, which
Yeah.
I think we should just change it and say call it fall town meeting.
Actually, you read my mind. I was actually going to say, why do we call it special?
Yeah.
We've always said it.
Because we always have.
What's that?
No, we can actually change the verbiage, read a town meeting and say we would like to call it just fall town meeting.
Yeah, but you'd have to have a bylaw change.
Yeah.
And then that way, whenever we say special town meeting, we would know it was the extraneous
Why would
town meetings.
I don't even know why we should have these.
Because it annoys you, and we like that.
One's enough.
So anyways.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree
Oh,
with
I'm
you.
sorry, Mary?
No, I just want to tell you, Madam Chair, that did go before town council once, and we wanted to call it the fall town meeting. He said, you can't. I said, can't we call it the annual fall town meeting? He said, no.
Really, you
We
can't,
have-
because I know
no,
town
they-
of Groton does it. They refer to it as fall town meeting.
They might refer to
Yeah,
it, the town
you know.
council said you have one annual meeting and it's in the spring.
Yeah.
And in the
Oh, yeah, it's
fall,
annual.
has to be
Yeah.
called a special town meeting.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. Good point.
So maybe we should change it to biennial, twice a year. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of say that because it causes a lot of confusion. Then let's change the extraneous special town meetings to be an ESTM. Extraneous special town meeting. All right, Robert, what else you got?
All right, so under the town administrator's report, just very briefly on the administrative update, it has been a very busy summer as we implement the FY16 budget. The Open Space and Recreation Plan Committee had one of their final goal meetings last night that I was at, and they're going to be concluding and finalizing their report, and in the future would like to make a brief presentation to the Board of Selectmen on just the goals and the highlights of that plan. And upon approval, that plan is good for 7 years and will enable the town to be eligible for various grants pertaining to open space and recreation needs. They've done a very good job working with the Conway School. The Comprehensive Plan Committee, there's been a lot of pre-planning on a staff level underway over the summer. And the end of September, the committee is going to officially convene. We were going to move forward with the comprehensive plan process, which will involve all aspects of the town, including the public, and that will be a year-long process. So a lot of work has gone into that. Ms. Antonellis and I, for one of the goals of this board, have begun to organize and catalog all of the executive session minutes that the board has, and we will be bringing forth several for release in September by this board, and have put together a system. And I want to thank Carly primarily for putting together a system that, when fully implemented, not only will it all be up to date, but there'll be a system in place so there isn't a backlog, per our goals here. Also, preliminary work is being looked into, which will be transmitted to the board on the concept of a land use department, and we'll discuss more of that moving forward. And now, with the town meeting warrant open, there are some articles already that will be coming forward for your consideration. One of or a piece of it is Superintendent Wetzel and the town engineer and myself have been working with town council to get before this board a comprehensive strategy with our unaccepted public ways, and I appreciate various selectmen thoughts on that and input. And we will have, if this board is willing, some articles for some street acceptances for the fall town meeting. So again, we're really focusing on plans for the goals. As Selectman Luca did say just now, though it seems a ways off, before you know it, the budget process will begin underway. So all in all, again, a busy time, but a productive time. And again, a special thanks to the board for your continued support and input. The next item I have under the report is the town's management letter from the auditors. And you have in the packet...
Nothing's changed, so don't worry about it.
No.
This is actually the last fiscal year, correct?
Correct. This was the last...
The 14.
14. And I put this in here to sort of start the discussion, not necessarily for tonight, because there's a couple of points in it that I think respectfully the board may want to have a future discussion with some respected folks with this. One of the things which is a goal for IT and the IT committee, you'll see there's an extensive recommendation piece about cyber security, which is, it's sort of scary stuff when you talk about it, but one of the goals that I've given to Ms. Knox and the IT committee is that there's a written information system plan which will be presented to you for review and approval. The board will have to approve it, call it a WISP, by the spring at the latest, so that we have required to have this in terms of for our cybersecurity and so forth. And if you look at Ms. Knox's monthly report, she will indicate in the statistics on the second page how many emails attempted to get through that were spam or what have you through the firewall. And it's amazing. You think, we're immune to it, but it's eye-opening. So they focused on, again, new, some cybersecurity. I'm pleased to report through the town's IT department and the IT committee, we have a lot of these things in place on these recommendations, but we will move forward on that. The other piece that came up was payroll procedures relating to the Ayer Public Library. Though the Ayer Public Library, you could argue, I don't necessarily agree with from a management or an administrative point of view, but you could argue that they're semi-autonomous through legislation, which they are. They did point out in the management letter some concerns about payroll procedures relating to the Ayer Public Library, and you will see the chief librarian's response in the letter. Obviously, the Library Board of Trustees needs to convene, which they haven't since this letter, review this, and that may be an area that the board may want to have a discussion with the trustees regarding the payroll procedures, specifically the centralized recording of holiday time, sick leave time, etc., and how payroll is done. And for the purpose of tonight, we don't have to get into great detail. It is in the letter. Other than that, which we will talk again about, I know it's on the agenda. It was in the previous letters. This ongoing issue is the Chapter 32B, Section 9A and a half, health insurance, retirees. The language in here is exactly what Mr. Gisti said before the board last spring on his recommendation. So on that, why I put it under my report is that it would be available to the public. It's a public document, the management letter, in the packet, and to get it to the board first, for you to take a first look at it, and then if there were any questions, or I would recommend as we move forward, when I talk to some of these folks that are involved on some of these recommendations, perhaps there's a need for a future discussion. To conclude on this, though, I am pleased to report, as you can see in the management letter, that the town of Ayer's management and specifically financial management, as has been the case for many years, is sound and in very good order, and that's a tribute to everybody that's involved.
Well, we're going to talk about 32B later, right?
Yes. Okay. So,
just a comment.
Yes. So, Madam Chair, I think that I will follow up with it being summer as these groups meet, and then if there's a need at the board meeting for a meeting through you, we can discuss on the agenda. But if there are any questions on the management letter, myself or Ms. Cabri, just let us know.
Okay.
Okay. The next is under appointments. I respectfully am requesting one appointment for Miss Susan Trudella. Has expressed interest in a letter of intent. She would like to be appointed to a one-year term effective upon appointment to expire on June 30th of 2016 to the Dam and Pond Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes. Welcome aboard.
Right.
There's nobody here. Nobody over here.
The next item is, for many years, the town of Ayer, like many other municipalities, has hosted interns in internships. Some of those internships have been paid internships. Some of them have been for college credit. Some of them have been volunteer. And there was no definitive internship program policy. So I asked Mr. Johnston to prepare a formalized Town of Ayer internship program administration policy, which you have in your packet. We've discussed this at the department head level to get their input, and has also been vetted through town council. So respectfully, unless there are questions, I'm recommending that the board approve this policy so that we have a definitive one in place for when institutions or other organizations ask us about potential internship opportunities. We have a formalized program.
Gary?
Robert, what would determine whether somebody is paid or not paid? Is that a department head? And I know money has to be appropriated.
Right.
Is that Lisa saying, no, I want to hire an intern and I want to pay that intern $20 an hour?
through the chair to you, Selectman Luke, a great question. It has to be budgeted for. So in one case, the DPW, you hear Mr. Wessel talk about his intern. He is within the DPW budget. He has budgeted a small stipend for that internship. So in many cases, most of our internships, with the exception of the ones that have been in DPW, which have been budgeted for, have been volunteer or for college credit.
But is the idea of union, non-union been vetted through town council?
Yes. In other words, when we design an internship, and what we've done in the past and with this, we want it to be specifically project-based, as opposed to like, if your internship, I'm just saying hypothetically, was cleaning catch basins, for example, that would raise a union objection because of union work. We try to make it specific project-based, and in the past I've always communicated to whether it's the clerical union or the DPW union or the respective union, this is what we're doing in terms of intern.
Let me just say, I have nothing against interns. I think, they prove, they're useful.
It goes the wrong way.
They're useful.
Yeah.
It's a good learning experience. It's good for the employer also to have the extra help. I'm just leery nowadays with all the stuff that goes on. I mean, do we have to give a Cory check on these people if we have an intern?
I would think so.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
If we should, if it is in policy, it should be. I guess, right? I mean,
I'd like to chew onto this a little bit, but
I didn't even know there was such thing as paid interns. I thought an intern was just a college position or what you do to.
Yeah, but it's usually like a small stipend, like $50
Well,
or something. Yeah.
I just worry
Yeah.
about like the shade program where someone filed for unemployment because they stopped working.
It is Massachusetts. It's
But
always a
the town
possibility.
Council says it's all right. I guess it's all right.
Through the chair, under the U.S. Department of Labor standards, and it's referenced in the policy, they have these, they call them fact sheets or amendments. This fact sheet 71, when people do an internship that is a paid internship, and that's actually rare here, what we do through DPW, it's classified as that. So when the internship is over, it's an excellent point though, Selectman Luke, because it happened with the SHAVE program in the past. When the program is over, the candidate, the intern, can't go and file with the Division of Unemployment for benefits.
And if you hire an intern,
Mhm.
if the department head hires an intern, I would hope it'd be vetted if it's a family member.
Yes.
That would be handled either through you or through you.
Agreed.
I'm done making motions.
Oh, it's your turn.
I don't even have it in front of me. I make a motion to approve the intern policy drawn up and by Mr. Johnston and presented to us by Mr. Pompran.
Second.
All in favor? Motion's been made, seconded. All in favor?
Just,
Oh, wait,
just a
Robert.
point, just a point of information, Madam Chair. If the board would be willing, if you look under procedures, there's 6 points. If if you'd be willing to add number 7, which would say all interns must pass a Cory check, and number 8, that all interns must file a conflict of interest disclosure when applicable.
Okay, so I make a motion that the original motion be amended for number 7 and 8 as presented by Mr. Pompran.
Chris can make the motion and I can second it. He made the original motion.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I amend my original motion to include number 7, that all interns be Cory checked, background checked, and that number 8 was a conflict of interest, Robert?
Yeah, the disclosure.
That all interns file a conflict of interest paperwork, or is that how it works?
Disclosure.
Disclosure
yeah.
form.
Is that only if they're related or Everyone.
No,
Everyone,
yeah.
everyone should fill it out, I would think.
But if there's no conflict, do you?
But how do you know until you ask?
Okay.
Second.
Yeah. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes.
The next item is the review of the proposed nuisance bylaw update. As a result of the Board of Selectmen's meeting on July the 14th, at that time I had presented to you the research that had been done as a proposed update to the nuisance bylaw, meaning the town, and we found that the town of Framingham, after an exhaustive search, at least had a very modern bylaw and a very clear definition of a lot of the terms. It also had a review component to it. And so since then, what I provided the board with is a draft of the town of Ayer proposal, which is basically the Framingham proposal, and I attached all of the respective or involved departments' input. You have a memo from the Board of Health. You have comments from the new zoning enforcement officer. You have input from the chiefs, and then also Mr. Valenti, that had the building commissioner, that had a delay. We just got his. So I provided all of that to the board, and again, looking for direction as to how the board would want to proceed. In terms, I know that the board had indicated it would like to, for consideration, have a potential warrant article for the fall town meeting. That would then give the board, if you will, up until October 16th, when you finalize the warrant, to work on the language and so forth.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fine.
I was looking at.
I actually agree with the points that Gabe. I mean, they're more clerical in how it's determined, but he makes some very good points about the rain shield and paint and weeds and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think that's how we want to proceed in any way.
Right.
So we should definitely delineate that. And I do agree with them too on the nuisance bylaw. Should that stay? I mean, not the nuisance bylaw, the car. So does that stay under the chief? Because I think that's worked well under the chief. Correct?
It's a little unfair. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we don't want to shift everything over to.
But don't we also have a bylaw for the unregistered and dismantled vehicles?
We do, but the bylaw from Framingham has it incorporated into one.
Right.
And I don't know if we want to change.
But don't we actually have two bylaws that talk about abandoned vehicles and whatnot?
There's the unregistered.
Yes, the unregistered.
I know there's the one that we did when I came on the board.
Yeah, we did one in 2013, right?
Yeah.
Updated it.
Isn't there something earlier? Of course, I'm looking at the website when I say this.
Well, there's also the non-criminal disposition that mentions both the abandoned vehicle and the nuisance bylaw that allows the ticketing.
Right. I mean, how many times do we have to amend? How many bylaws do we need for the unregistered?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it should stay the way it is. Under. I mean, unless Chief Murray has any input on.
That's Article XXI. And that's abandoned.
Yeah, don't put them in motions either.
That's abandoned, wrecked, dismantled, or discarded vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was recently updated, 2013.
Right, and then there's something else. There's a previous article with in lower numbers, lower Roman numerals, about vehicles, I think, too. So I think we've got it kind of covered left and right on that one.
And one of the things,
Yeah, I agree.
through the chair, that I agree with the building commissioner and his observation is in the, if you will, in the Framingham one, if you take it just as is, building commissioner is the only
Correct.
enforcement agent.
Yeah.
And I do agree with him that I would hope that the town would continue to have the police and also the Board of Health where applicable, they're also involved.
Correct.
Because
Well-
we've always done that.
Don't we have an enforcement bylaw that references all those people?
You have to check. Yeah.
We have
I
an
think,
enforcement officer now, too.
right.
Right, so which references the police, fire, and all them, on all of them.
Yes, the bylaw in
the enforcement
2013.
bylaw.
Right.
Including
So
the
you
GW.
well.
You could,
Yeah.
you could reference that as far as the enforcement agent as prescribed in whatever article number it is on enforcement, and bounce them back together and always connecting A and B.
Mm-hmm.
So that way too, it becomes more of a situational as needed, as far as, you know, who would get sent out. And so you would just kind of bounce it back.
Yeah, I mean, I always think of cars as being police department,
Right.
buildings, structural being Gabe. I mean,
Right.
fire issues being the chief, that's
Yeah.
Gazi, so.
I like
don't
Mr.
know why we-
Schultz's recommendation too, I don't know if we can do it, about line of sight. In other words, if you look, his was the handwritten recommendations, but can we look like if you pull up in a property, when we talk about overgrown vegetation and so forth, if it affects the line of sight
Right.
from a public safety point of view? I mean, it was an
Yes,
interesting.
Public
definitely,
safety,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of that stuff is so dicey.
You know, it's
drive
true, and
down
that's
Li-
Gabe's point, yeah.
You drive down Littleton Road, right, which is a state road?
I noticed it
The state
yesterday.
has done nothing.
I agree with
Right.
you, I noticed it yesterday.
The highways or the state roads, nothing.
Yeah, you got
can't
rag,
see the
you got
weeds.
rag
You're right.
weeds
You're
called
right.
us,
Yeah.
yeah.
We end up
It's
doing
ridiculous.
it. Mark's guys end up doing it eventually
Right.
because the
Okay.
state never gets there. I agree with you, down by Pingree, it's awful.
And the highways,
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
No,
You think-
you're 100% correct. It's a very fine line.
You know, as far as administration, you could add, and or his or her designee with the building commissioner. So it could be an assistant building commissioner, it could be
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're.
a zone enforcement person if we ever hired somebody like that.
And I think they've done a pretty good job of obviously not going after stuff they shouldn't be going after. I mean, you could really interpret anything the way you want to interpret, but I think they've done a pretty good job, Chief and Gabe, about
Yeah.
laying off stuff they shouldn't be worrying about.
And you can see that in both the Board of Health's memo and from the building commissioner, points well taken that I think we need to give it some further thought on, is also the use of some of these terms in the Framingham one, often either vague or very, broad, and like you said, Selectman Luke, can cut both ways, and I mean, like, and you mentioned Selectman Hillman, like the rain guard, for example, or, I mean.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was until I started reading when they said rain
Yeah.
guard, and they said it's essentially paint.
Man,
Yeah. And nor do we have the resources to be chasing stuff like that. I mean, that's you go out of your mind.
it's a nanny
Right.
public, you know.
Yeah.
They'll take care of it.
And perhaps maybe, and then this also was highlighted, I think in the memo from the Board of Health, is another approach is the Framingham one is, though the strengths of it, it's more updated in the language and so forth, and it's comprehensive. Do we want to take an approach in Ayer of taking the value of the definitions and so forth, but we're so comprehensive, do we want to focus, when I say Ayer specific, on the specific issues that we've had?
Yes.
Yeah, I
mean,
think so.
and
I mean,
really zero in
Framingham and Ayer, there's no comparison
Right.
at all based on anything except they have a decent bylaw. But I mean, besides that, how can you
Right.
compare the two communities?
Right.
Is this to like rewrite the whole thing? Like we can take out the word awful and
You could do two things. You can amend a proposed amendment to the bylaw, or you could replace it altogether. When I
you
say
can
you,
amend it where you could
insert
strike something.
Yeah, right.
Well,
because I mean
if-
just some of the stuff is so outdated.
Well, that's
Well,
it. I
if
mean,
it's
yeah.
gonna get a major overhaul, it's better to just do one-for-one replacement. Rather
See, I
than
don't-
try to say, okay, in paragraph 1, line 3, we changed
Yeah, but
this.
it may be easy to do it that way instead of rescinding the bylaw and then reissuing a new bylaw. Because then you have to have a public hearing and everything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, take one away and put a new one in.
Mhm.
It's a larger process than just adding and subtracting.
But it might
You're
be,
right,
but
it's-
it might be easier for everyone to comprehend.
Yeah. But just a thought. All right, so you want us to chew on this or something?
Yeah, well, I'd point out two things. I mean, we continue to at least make some progress in the process, that if the expectation of the board or the goal of the board is to put this forth at the fall town meeting, you have respectfully a deadline of October 16th, if you will. I mean, that's when you would close the warrant. So you don't have to take any decisions today. And I know there's a lot of material that was submitted from various departments and so forth to look over, which may be helpful is for the first, if we zeroed in on what we believe should be in there and what shouldn't, you know.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
I would think that each department head would have, Chief Murray might have some suggestions for the nuisance car. Gabe may have some building suggestions. Chief Pedrazi may have some fire suggestions. I mean, Mark may have some suggestions.
So I can put it out there for some suggestions.
yeah, I mean, this was sort of a first pass through the
Yeah, 'cause
departments, if you want.
I don't think
but-
Oh, okay.
we're not giving them the tools. I mean, I think a lot we're really running force for a long time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we need major overhauls or anything. Just clearer language, I think, is
There's
basically
no
what we're looking
question,
for, right?
clearer
Yeah.
language
Yeah.
is one of the key things.
Updated.
And one of the things on the Framingham piece, for what it was worth, if you look at the end, is that whole reporting verification, process, which ours doesn't have, so it stays on top of
Right.
things. That's the
Yeah,
value
that makes
of the
sense, yeah.
Framingham one.
Right.
It's recorded and,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we think about snow.
Take, let the department heads look at it some more and
That's a good
look
point,
at
too.
this again on September 1st.
It is.
Okay.
I mean,
Sidewalks.
personally, if it's ready and everyone's comfortable with it, all the enforcement agencies are comfortable with it, then that'd be great if it's on the fall town meeting, but I'd rather have it tight and all the chiefs and everybody to be happy with it than to try to rush to get it.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're missing any major component that it's holding people back.
Right.
So if it had to wait
Yeah,
to tweak
I mean,
it.
yeah, we want it tight.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, there's not one thing in there that's holding
Right.
something back from some major thing,
Yeah.
taking place, so.
And then we'll just go from there and see where when it's ready, where it lands.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll take a look at it again on September 1st. The item 6 under my report, there was a proposed free cash policy Selectman Luker had brought forth, I think back in June, one of the June meetings, and from that meeting I did send it to the Finance Committee, the tax collector, the treasurer, the town accountant, benefits payroll for, again, sort of like an input review. You have in your packet
With
from
one response.
yeah, Mr. Johnston put forth something that, in the packet, that's similar to what was originally put forth. Ms. Gabri had observed that the issue of OPEB be addressed in that. And I have not heard from the Finance Committee, has not weighed in on that. And I know through the chair that Selectman Luker, I think, had some additional materials from today. Or,
No, I just,
or-
the only thing I did was add the OPEB to it
Let's see today, I just read the first sheet.
on number 3. And actually, when I went back to look at the town that I poached this from, that was in there initially. So I might have deleted it out on purpose by mistake.
OPEB, delete, is that how it works with you?
Yeah. But, I mean, this is kind of near and dear to my heart that, I mean, if we had money available, we shouldn't be borrowing, we should be using it.
So, I got a question. So, like on number 3,
Yeah.
enhanced fund reserves,
Yep.
stabilization fund. So if we have a stabilization fund that needs a quick influx of some money rather than raise rates, maybe being able to give it a quick influx. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean,
A land purchase.
my intent, yeah,
Yeah, that's a
well, like,
decent one.
I'll give you an example, like tonight, we said UDAG for
Right.
Because that was kind of brought up the time we went over the warrant by the finance committee that, you know, they wanted to be done with UDEC money. I says, you know, as long as we can, you know, put money back into UDEC from free cash at some point.
So it's
Right,
ultimately
right.
just a passing through.
It
Ultimately,
is.
free cash is gonna fund the UDEC, I would
Well,
think,
yeah, the
right?
motion on that
Right.
land, not to, but as the board knows, your motion on 0 Park Street was, the replenishment source was to be a commitment through free cash.
Correct.
No, it all depends on if you want to do it all at once, or you don't. I mean, we did the same thing with the, on the shoulder like that, with the
Yep.
500,000, you know? I think it's good to have that UDEC fund there just in case, because we can access it pretty quick with stabilization, capital, I mean, it has to go through town meeting, has to get 2/3. OPEB, I'm not, obviously, you know, I'm not overly concerned about it, but my thing is with the free cash in number 3, Janice, is if you have free cash left over and you want to dump it into one of those funds, that's fine. But you need to use it to reduce borrowing, to do a capital project, to even, and I didn't put it in there, but even augment one of the enterprise funds for a project. If you want to put some money toward East Main Street, sewer and water, which I hope will get done soon.
In our lifetime.
But I mean, if you want to take some of the money and put it toward that, or,
Right.
you know, not that our policies tell us to augment the enterprise funds at all, but, I mean, we're already augmenting the transfer station with at least half of it.
And free cash is one of those things, I mean, 2012, we had none.
Right.
Yeah, it's
You
one
know,
of those things that
I can see
ebbs
not
and
using
flows,
an
obviously.
operating budget, but you
Mhm.
can take certain amounts of it to reduce the overall nut that you're charging the taxpayers.
Mhm. And we tried to,
And-
in capital too, we tried to
And
weigh
we've
that,
done-
yeah.
We've done a good job with it. I mean, in the
Mhm.
last 4 years, we've
Right.
been
Oh, no, we have.
under 2.5%
Mhm.
of an increase.
Mhm.
And it's, most of the time, it's been below 2%.
Mhm.
So that's good for the taxpayers. But this is money taxpayers already paid. So I feel like an obligation to use that money towards something that they already paid. I mean,
I agree.
that's just my argument, and it's been my argument, you know?
FinCom, they weigh in on everything.
Yeah, I
and
don't,
you're-
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
through the chair, I mean, just, I don't know
I mean,
if
it
it's
doesn't
with,
pertain to
if
them.
it's with the summer or what have you, I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I think we should hear from them.
I agree.
I don't know what's, and if I may,
Really
just
like
through
what
the
you
chair,
say.
as the board is aware, our stabilization account, we've reached the DOR benchmark, which is good, and that
Right.
doesn't mean that there still can't be, or shouldn't be some level of commitment to that, but that it reached that
Capital's been
benchmark.
huge.
The capital stabilization, again, there's been commitments to get that up. It has been the practice the last 3 years to use the meals tax, if you will, to fund, the OPEB. So some of these
Which is run $100,000.
things are in place.
I like that. I mean, that is money that almost we didn't have. Like it just, you know what I mean? And we took that revenue stream that we never really had our hands on and just put it into
Right,
OPEB.
it's gone from 68.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
hasn't hurt us, or we haven't taken it from another fund. So
You know, and this whole thing isn't to replace reoccurring funds. Because we used to do that. We used to take our free cash and roll it into a budget for the next year. It makes no sense at all.
no.
Because you don't know what you're going to get
Well,
the
we
next
know
year.
what can come along suddenly too. I mean, thankfully, a few things that came along last year didn't materialize.
Right.
And, B&M thing and all that stuff. But who knows what can slap us upside the head
Right.
I mean, we
quickly.
had 2 wrongful suits against us.
Mhm.
That we solved for pennies in the dollar. That,
Right.
thank God. I mean,
Right.
it could have been all worse. But this, and a policy is a policy. You don't have to even stick with it. But I think this is a good practice. I know Lisa feels fine with it. You said something about Kevin, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, there is something in the back about it.
Was it?
Yeah.
He had
He,
drafted up. It was very similar to what.
Oh, so
You-
he
you
just got rid of mine and drafted his own?
No, he
Just
had
crossed your name out.
Yeah.
You post someone else's, he's post yours.
Yeah, his is written better.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. So, I don't know, I just, I'd like to.
No, you make some valid points.
Right.
And obviously FinCom's gonna wanna weigh in on it, so I don't know where they've been. I mean, you asked them a while ago, correct?
Yeah.
June
And they've met.
first, they sent something out.
Yeah. They met
Right.
several times, I believe, right, over the summer?
No,
No, they met?
recent.
Okay.
I think they were away this week and there were only 3 of them, so.
Okay.
But all of you that have sat at the board meetings or the larger meetings and so forth on this, I mean, definitely some type of guidance framework or policy framework looking at free cash, I think, is definitely in order, as opposed to the 11th hour, let's maybe do this, maybe do that.
So we're not looking for a bylaw, we're just looking for a practice, more of a
Yeah,
town-wide
policy.
Right.
policy
A policy
based on the
framework.
situation we're in.
Right, something that kind of says, hey, don't forget about free
Mhm.
cash.
I would hope that, this board would support if something came up with free cash and it fell under these parameters,
Mhm.
that you would tend to support something like that.
Right.
I mean, it's always, we have these board meetings, and it's like the, 10,000-pound elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it except for me. And it's all negative. But, it is what it is. It is money that's there. Why, like I said, why tax people if you don't have to?
Exactly.
It's a good source. And now that, don't get me wrong, we've done a great job with our finances. I mean, have stabilization up at 7% of our, total budget.
Right.
And it's a credit to her over there. She does a good job with
Mhm.
I agree.
managing
Yeah.
stuff too, so. But I don't know.
So are we looking for a vote tonight?
If you guys think it's all right, if you want to hold off and get more input.
Did you look at what Kevin sent? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, holding on, I
Means
mean,
anything?
we know FinCom's gonna wanna weigh in, and
Right.
Okay, I can wait.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
let me I will contact the
not that I'm
chairman
saying I'm gonna
again.
agree with him, I'm just saying that
Okay.
I'd rather hear their,
But
as you said, it's something that it hasn't been discussed, so,
Right.
the elephant in the room.
Next week.
They're meeting next week?
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we can request that
Okay.
they,
Yeah.
discuss that.
Okay,
And,
they are meeting next week.
Hopefully have this back on our agenda for September 1st.
Yep,
So,
Yeah.
kind of put a timeline on it.
Yep.
I doubt they'll answer that quick. I'd give you the second meeting in September.
I think that if we, since it's been
There's
sent
no
to
real
them, if
urgency.
there's no real urgency, but my point is that it has been sent out twice now for 2 months. And if we say we wanted to put it back on our agenda for September 1st, it kind of puts a fire under people's butts. So that's why I'm
Okay.
recommending that it be put on to the September 1st.
Fine.
okay. Madam Chair, the last item, number 7, under my report, as the board is aware, we have a contractual agreement with Mass Development that the Town of Ayer's Veterans Commissioner provides the veteran services for any and all veterans that live within the Devon's Enterprise Zone, and that agreement is going to expire and is due for renewal. It is in your packet as reviewed by myself and the Veterans Commissioner and Town Council, and there were no changes, substantive changes from the current agreement, and I'm respectfully recommending that the board vote to approve that contract.
Just your standard.
Just trying to find it. We have
Page
46. And it's just, shall be to August 30th, shall be from effective date of this agreement to, okay. Yeah, I got it. I make a motion that the town of Ayer enter into a agreement for services to the Massachusetts Development Finance Agency for services for veterans benefits.
Yep.
Veteran services.
Veteran services, yep.
Effective. Didn't have an effective date. Effective immediately.
Effective upon approval. Yep.
Effective upon approval to August 31st, 2016.
Your signature.
For signature by the chair, correct?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. Approved.
And Madam Chair, through to the board, thank you. That concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you. All right, so. Gary?
I'll be brief. I appreciate your indulgence in this since I brought it up every meeting.
I appreciate you bringing it up every meeting.
Well, you know, I saw the spreadsheet that Robert sent out, and which even more disgusts me since we paid out, you know, $20,000 to other towns, and we haven't collected a penny yet.
Have we actually paid? I didn't really.
This is, has to do with health insurance benefits not collected from other towns because the treasurer that we have doesn't believe the law is fair. Or the law is good, or fair and good, whatever it may be.
Well, I know we've been billed. Did we pay out other than the one?
Have we paid
No, we
these?
haven't paid anything.
Madam Chair,
Besides Burlington?
through you to Selectman Lucra, we have, the only one to my knowledge, and I want to emphasize to my knowledge, is the town of Burlington. If you
And that
remember,
was because they threatened to sue.
Burlington had threatened litigation, and the treasurer did pay the Burlington piece. The others, to our knowledge,
So these requests go through the treasurer?
yes, they go to the treasurer per 32B 9A.5. The treasurer is the sole statutory authority on this. So the bills from other communities go to the treasurer, and it is also conversely the responsibility of the treasurer to pay the bills that we receive. In other words, to authorize those bills. Now, as this board knows, for quite some time, probably almost 3 years, the treasurer has maintained that despite requests from myself, this board, Ms. Cabri, Mr. Gisti was here last spring, I don't want to be a broken record, she has maintained that she, and there are some other communities, but she doesn't agree with the law. I've asked her formally, as you know, in writing as well as in continuing person, I have suggested, why don't you just put together a billing system and a payment system so that we're in compliance? I mean, just because you don't agree with it, that's your opinion, but we should be in compliance with it. And that has yet to happen. I mean, this information, I think, was at least provided as a result of this board discussing it. It is somewhat incomplete. As I've said before, and the town accountant has told this board, it's discouraging that she's had to file a Freedom of Information request to even get documents from another department. And just so the board knows, Ms. Cabri and I, with respect to the FY16 budget and previously, to the best of our knowledge, have encumbered and set aside funds within the FY16 budget. So in the event that either there's litigation or these bills come through, that the town at least has set aside the money to pay it. But Ms. Cabri, myself, and respectfully even this board, does not have the statutory authority to pay those bills. It's the treasurer.
So what you passed out, Robert, we have...
And these are both from her, yeah.
24 years of credible service that we paid, that we owe, that we know of. There's probably more of them.
Correct.
To the tune of almost $21,000.
Mhm.
And owed us, it's 51 years of credible service. And from what I roughly figured here, which you could argue that it's at least twice that, but that is owed to the town.
And Robert, when Freedom of Information or
A public
service
record,
request
yes.
is filled out, exactly what is the process?
I did this, James.
I know, but
To get it from her.
Yeah, I know, but I want to know, I've come in and I've decided to do a public records request.
Mhm.
I want to know what the process is. There's a reason.
So anybody, you file a public records request in writing.
Correct.
You're requesting the bills under the bills to the town of Ayer under 32B 9A.5.
Right, so I go where to get the form?
You go to, you don't even need a form. You can just fill up, write out the request.
So I've sent an email.
You've sent an email.
Okay.
Okay. And it has to go to what they call the custodian of the records. And per the statute, all 32B9A and a half, the treasurer is the custodian. So if you
Someone sent it to
so if
you,
you sent it
you
to
would
me,
have to
I would
forward
have
it to-
correct.
Okay.
Conversely, if somebody sent to her about personnel records, I'm your custodian or your agent, the board, on that. You would submit that to her. Under the statute, she has 10 days to respond to your request. And the response to the request falls into really three categories. One is there are no records responsive to your request. That happens sometimes. People ask, there is nothing responsive to it. We know that isn't the case here. Secondly, the individual, the responder, may say, okay, there are this many records or what have you, and it's incumbent upon that person to your request to respond. Selectman Livingston or Janice Livingston, Joe Smith, there are approximately this many records, and if it's overburdensome, and we've had this board with its boxes or what have you, you can charge for both the reproduction, and you can also charge for the time to put it together. I don't think this would rise really probably to that level.
Correct.
But at minimum, within 10 days, you must be responded to, and it may say, in some cases, it may take more time, or within 10 days to provide the records. The treasurer, will not willingly provide those records to the town accountant, to myself, or to this board over the last 3 years. This is the most recent information we have. Ms. Gabri has, to the best of her ability, based on the limited information we have, calculated a set aside to cover this. Some of it is talking to trying to find out from other municipalities. Sometimes they will call my office and say they've sent a bill, and at least that will trigger it. As this board knows, the town administrator, the town manager in Burlington, finally sent me an email, and I think to the board, or I got to that threatening that the town of Burlington was going to sue, and that one was paid.
Right. So every time the town accountant requests information that she needs in order to help budget the town finances and whatnot, she has to do a public records request. And then wait up to 10 days.
Just for response.
Just for a response.
You're right. And I have said this to...
So on a time management, it's awful too. So, okay.
I don't...
It's incompetence, it's not just on.
Well, and I have said this...
I think it's a matter of understanding what the law is, honestly, or how to do it. I think it's more of that. Understanding the position. The person in the position doesn't understand the position. This is my...
You think?
Yeah. It's
Well-
because ultimately we can't do anything, but when we get sued, we have to be the ones to handle that.
Yes.
Right.
What is most unfortunate,
So
and I have said this, I've never seen this not only in my time here, but in other places, where we're all supposed to be working together. And I look at everybody as department heads, regardless of the methodology that they were selected, whether it was appointed, elected, or what have you, working together. And it's just unfortunate that it has to come to that level for one department, for what are public records, to request them. I mean, we have residents, we have members of boards and committees, and I have department heads that ask us for information all the time, and we do the best to work together to provide it. And I don't, again, the reason and this board's heard it, and the public has heard it, the reason is that she doesn't agree with the law, or it's a poorly written law, but 32B 9A and a half, it is the law. Why don't we just have, and I ask this almost on a weekly basis of her, why don't you have a billing system and a system put in place and end this?
Right.
End this.
And publicly, no one knows about it because unless you stay up till 9, 10 at night and watch this meeting, it'll get a vague mention, possibly in the paper, but
Maybe it'll be in the paper.
I think, I mean, it was shortchanging the taxpayer in this town.
of course we are.
And what needs to happen is the position needs to be appointed. And if that has to happen at town meeting, so be it. Well, it has to happen at town
It
meeting.
has to happen at town meeting.
But
I know what you're saying.
It's just wrong.
Yes, Robert.
Lastly, Madam Chair, it is a very unique anomaly to the town of Ayer, meaning this scenario, because at the request of this board looking into other options, as it hasn't happened, the statute clearly resides all of the authority with the town treasurer. If there was a mechanism or an interpretation of the statute that the board or some other entity could act, and this has been looked at, we would pursue that. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, and as discussed, and I don't want to, because it gets into a potential exemption 3 ES scenario what the board may want to consider, is, having it be compelled by the courts. But that involves also all kinds of
Cost of the taxpayers even more.
costs, time. There's other issues. I mean, is that in the best interest when this could all be solved by one individual?
I find the whole thing just
Not funny.
highly
Maddening.
unethical. I find this whole thing highly unethical.
If we don't find a position, we'll get some more money back.
Oh, let
10-hour a week
us
position
not
anyways. But
have that fiasco happen again, because that was just not.
All right, I'm done. I'm just,
So, where do we go from here?
I think, I don't know if we can do anything, as you outlined earlier, but bringing it up and making everybody aware of it.
I may propose a warrant article or two.
Yeah, maybe I'll go on a rant at town meeting in a while.
I mean, I do hear from people that, why isn't it an appointed position? Why is it elected?
Yeah, well, we could talk
I
about
had
that.
one person that said, well, I mean, if you were appointed, you probably wouldn't be in there either. I said, you're probably right. There's probably better people than me out there.
Well, again, I tried to say this before, a couple of months ago, is that, people have to understand what are the real differences between an appointment and an elected official. For one, an appointment, they are held responsible.
And the candidate.
And they are held accountable.
And you can go outside the town for
And
viable
there
candidates.
are, avenues to be able to talk to the appointee and say, excuse me, this is the law, you will comply.
Or you're fired.
So those are things that seriously need to be considered, but.
Well, that's a good point, because let's just, if, for example, use one of the department heads, fire, police, DPW. If they don't follow law, I mean, I haven't had to do it since
They're
I've been here,
brought
but
before the board and it's
and I know it's
addressed
happened,
and-
Gary's been
yeah.
on the board where positions have been terminated. And that
Exactly.
goes through the whole, I mean, it hasn't happened since you and I have been here, but
Right.
we haven't had, but it has happened because ultimately they were wrong or they didn't do their job. I know there was a situation a few years ago, someone just decided not to show up for work. I mean, eventually, you have recourse.
Right. All right, until next month. Okay. So, did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I'm good.
Because after 9 p.m.
Yeah, I know,
happens to me,
and I'm hungry, so, yeah.
So I reviewed the minutes for July 14th, and they looked fine to me.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 14th, 2015.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Motion was made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
He waved. I'll take that as an aye.
I'm signing, so
And
it's done.
Chair says aye.
I said aye.
Okay.
Got it.
Minutes have been approved.
I spelled my name wrong.
To enter an executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Exemption 3, Collective Bargaining, ASME 93, DPW Union, MOA, and to exit executive session and adjourn for the evening. And going into executive session will have an adverse effect on negotiations.
with the parties.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? Roll call. Gary?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Chair says aye.